I'm just realizing that I'm here on May 1st talking to you folks about something 2 weeks up ahead. There's a news for you. Mars is stationing on May 20th. So, as Mars stations, what happens? It gets hot. And tempers flare and testosterone levels soar. On the outside, yeah, heat waves. On the inside, you may become more aggressive or more protective. Mars' job is to protect. He's Ku, the keeper of the forest, protects the trees and cuts the canoes. Yeah, Aries is an agricultural god who takes care of the olive orchards and, chases the wolves away from the herd of whatchamacallits. So Mars is a real hero. In your culture, he's a fireman. Who doesn't like a fireman? Or an EMT guy, comes along in the ambulance and really, same like a fireman, they have equal skills. I tell people, if you have a problem, whatever it is, you're going to call 911, always call the fire department first. Even if it's a heart attack, they'll get here before anybody. And they know CPR and they do things. And if Mars is there, well, the police probably won't arrive till later. And we don't know what mischief they might be up to, but there won't be mischief if Mars is there. So I love Mars myself. Of course, if he gets confused, if he doesn't know what to protect, because his job is to protect. If he doesn't know what to protect or how to do it, or he's confused about doing it, out comes the sword, and the god of war shows up, and boy, he can be destructive. So if you feel impatient or angry, ask yourself what you're protecting. Or what's that guy who's so upset protecting? If he's confused, see if he knows what he's protecting. Mars just does physical stuff. The fireman doesn't get off the fire engine pissed off. No. And the EMT doesn't climb off of that ambulance to save you ticked off. Mars protect your property. Mars protect your body. These are real Martians, huh? So Mars peaks out on the 20th when he stops. But as he comes up to it, it gets hotter and hotter, and there's more protectiveness or destructiveness, fires or fight. And it peaks out on the 20th, and then it comes down. How far is this? Well, with the big planets, I usually say it comes out here to 20 days. But you're going to feel this, you're only, 5-6 days from here. So this is going to get stronger and stronger, and you're already up here. So you've already felt Mars vibes, huh? Ask yourself what you're protecting. As soon as you do, the anger's gone in a split second. As soon as you understand what to protect, there'll be a physical thing to do. Oh, I got to clean that up. I got to nail that down. Just like the EMT, just like the fireman, you will have something physical the hero can do to properly protect. So now you see why I've drawn Mars like that. I'm thinking that he's not going to be the great protector necessarily, because he's coming back to 9 degrees of Libra. And, you had that terrible April. We were just talking about the last hit. But upshot is, the pattern of planets is still there. There's still a grand cross going on here, but it's not being set off by a lunation, so it doesn't have that emotional freaky quality of over-exaggeration. No, but it's still there. And as Mars, slows down and stops at 9 Libra and then goes forward, well, he's stopping squaring Pluto. He's going to be unhappy. Here's all the sports guys, the weird stuff. Mr. Sterling, the poor guy. Here's this old guy with the real foxy girlfriend and lots of money, and he doesn't want his girlfriend's pictures out there with these huge, massive, testosterone-packed African heap Martians, and he just backfired on him, and it turned into a racial trip, and he's going to have to give up his blah blah. Isn't it amazing how the American public takes off on racism when we should be talking about the drug war? But then Mars is going to have trouble protecting. What's he protecting? Here's Venus over here on Uranus, opposing him. Here's the girlfriend. Here's the media. So the Martian here, this Magic Johnson, he can't speak out very easily. And here's Jupiter over here. I didn't draw that in. He's a little far off for the square, but he's still a law professor. Pluto, whoa, squaring him. So Mars is probably not going to be too happy. He's frustrated. I know I am. I'll bet you're really frustrated because I'm 2 weeks in your past. I had to keep that in mind. I'm speaking to you from 2 weeks ago. So here's Mars. He's ticked off. He's going to peak out on the 20th. Let's take a look at it day by day and see if we can anticipate what the vibes are like. Help you navigate out there when people are most packed with testosterone and looking for something to fix or something to fight. That's the question. On Thursday night, if you're on the 15th, and most of you are, you got, sextile to Venus, or trine to Venus and Uranus. Mercury's opposed. You're not going to communicate very well, but there's pleasurable things on the intellectual enlightenment scale, and brotherhood and sisterhood is very strong here on Thursday night, the 15th. The moon's in Sagittarius. Not bad. Friday, the 16th, continues with good sisterhood kind of feelings. And as you get into late Friday night, maybe 10, 11 o'clock, the moon shifts in to Capricorn, depends on your location, and everything starts to change. And it starts becoming territorial. And why shouldn't the guy be ticked off that his girlfriend's putting all these pictures on with, these huge black guys, and she's a brown girl who's hoppa and kind of, I like these big, massive football or basketball players. I don't blame the guy, But boy, he got blamed. Anyway, here's Pluto. Pluto is the policeman. Pluto's the investigator. But here's a square to Mars right here. And that Mars square is when you're most ticked off, when you're having trouble about what you're protecting. The interesting thing is Neptune's here at 7 degrees, 7.5. So first, Saturday morning, there's a righteousness. We all go to church. Everybody gets in line. All the guys under color, all the basketball players line up and say, oh, that was a bad man. Are they still talking about Mr. Sterling 2 weeks in the future? It's possible. They can't stop, huh? The media they love it's like a flock of noisy birds. Once they get us started on something, look out. So here's Mars. He's totally under pressure. He comes along afterwards. It's about 3 hours afterwards. We have the square to Mars, and he's ticked off. And Mars is not happy with this stuff, especially those things the Neptune, the priest artist doctor, lays down. Oh, let's all go sing the praises of, blah, 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 the movie stars, the popes, the basketball stars, all the stars and privileged people, and yet blang, here's Mars closed out. Can't be aggressive now. No. Starts Saturday. Now this could easily be fires. People too loose with hydrocarbons, and here's Mars trying to start a fire. And there will be some fires on Saturday the 17th. But it starts with Neptune, and it's like, here you are at church believing everything is running along fine, believe the preacher, and then, damn, the fire breaks out. And the anger is here. So don't expect you're going to get through Saturday without some flashes. And, it gets really strong here as the moon goes by Pluto. That's, Saturday night. And people get territorial. Don't tell me what to do. This is my territory. It's all about police. It's all about, a whole power and control issue, which gets downright offensive when you get to the Uranus and the Jupiter part of it. It's, which happens just after the power play by Pluto at 13 degrees. Along comes Uranus at 15 degrees and Jupiter at 17 degrees. So first comes the media, that's late Saturday night, and then really late, early Sunday morning comes wise people, but they're not helping the matter. They're all pushing the flames. Terrorist bombers, eek! So this is your Pluto, remember him? Eek, a bug! So Saturday is a day of panic and everybody fights and kind of loses control, okay? Not a good Saturday. Thank heavens that we had a Taurus new moon eclipse that sextiles Pluto and Neptune and took some of the energy off that Grand Cross. But Saturday's still a heck of a day, and it runs into Sunday morning. And you're probably going to feel this all the way through Sunday until you get to Sunday night, when there's a nice trine to the sun, and we start getting our heads, and the Father peeks out and says, "Come on, let's get something done here, and it's okay." So you get some relief. Monday morning, the 19th, the moon's in Aquarius, feels different. I got a plan. Mars is in harmony. I got a trine to Mars Monday night. Actually, Monday afternoon, we start getting the heroes are coming out. We're fixing things. There's Brotherhood late Monday night with a sextile to Uranus, and rewards Tuesday morning with a sextile to Venus. Mars and Venus, the young people, Romeo and Juliet are getting together in brotherhood and sisterhood, and they're forming a union, and they're talking about it in the middle of Tuesday, May 20th, which is the date that Mars actually stops, and most powerful. So Monday, Tuesday, 19th, 20th, I hope the young folks speak out. They're the ones getting, we got the minimum wage. We made it bigger, they said, the politicians of Hawaii, and you'll have $10 an hour in 4 years. 4 years, Mars says? What the hell kind of help is that? Raise a minimum wage. Take credit for raising it 4 years from now. Shameful. That's the way you might feel Wednesday morning. What did everybody do there? There's a square to the sun. Not sure they should have done that. On Wednesday afternoon, the moon's in Pisces and it goes by Neptune here. Oops, where am I? There I am. And we believe in this, and we're all, kind of confused though, huh? And all the stuff you're doing, what this Neptune stuff is? It's the drug war that Nixon and Reagan and the fat cats all started to keep Woodstock in jail. Yes. And so, if you're going to go sing this song on Wednesday, there's going to be some young people that aren't happy. They're the ones that have been ripped off. Sanjay Gupta said, wow, we've been misled, terribly and systematically misled for 70 years. Yeah, almost 70 years, and he apologizes. Well, there's the drug war, and too bad. Kind of, Neptune is tricky. There's some power here. If you understand it, late Wednesday night, you can understand maybe how to handle these powers and righteously. But on Thursday, on the 22nd, the moon makes a nice trine to Jupiter and a trine to Saturn, and good sense comes out. Is this about religion? Is this about the drug war? Is this about the movie stars or the popes or the oil or the Keystone Pipeline, which is a travesty? That tar sands is one of the worst things you could dig up, worse than coal. So, this is a crazy thing by, will good sense triumph here over these Piscean issues, these Neptune issues? We had a new moon sextile Neptune. I hope so. On Friday the 23rd, let's do it this way. The moon goes into Aries, and it all changes again. Instead of inspired good sense, we did have the square to Mercury Thursday night, the 22nd, stopped communicating. But we got a plan Friday morning. There's a sextile to the sun on the 23rd. The moon's in Aries. It feels pretty strong until the alarms go off Friday night. Here's this opposition to Mars. The moon's in Aries at 9 degrees. Mars stopped on the 20th. This is the 23rd, and we got heat. We got fires. We got protesters killed by troops. Oh yeah, because here's the protesters, Uranus. And their fights started breaking out Friday night. And let's suppress those freaky people. And here on Saturday we have a group of protesters, and Mars could easily take out some of his ticked off, misplaced protectionism on these poor people. These are homeless people. These are young girls, some of them too. So Mars is having a battle. What, they just kidnapped 200 girls in Nigeria? Anyway, here's your heat day. It really starts Friday. Get prepared. If you need to have a cool place, some fans and a little, water on your body can cool anybody off. And you may need it on Saturday. There could be some crisis here, some heat crisis in the world someplace, huh? It doesn't lighten up till you get to Sunday morning after breakfast. Even then, the moon goes by the south node, and Mercury, the kids say, we need help, and a lot of people need help here Sunday morning. You get to almost to lunch, it gets a little better. The moon goes into Taurus on Sunday, the 25th. And Sunday night there's a sextile to Neptune, and some of our beliefs come back again. And Monday, in the middle of the day, there's a trine to Pluto, and we got some control on the 26th. And maybe did that get you through the Mars crisis? I don't know. Mars can be, Saturn is the great malefic in ancient astrology, so you got to watch old Saturn here. But he's trining Jupiter now and working with the wise man. Mars was the lesser malefic, and so Mars can be tough. And I don't blame him. These young guys, they're getting the worst of it all. Minimum wage. You know what? Can't find work? Go in the military. Jeez.